Kanye walks off of Timcast IRL after only 20 minutes. What is the real story? All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. How is everybody doing tonight? Doing something a little bit different here. I saw this and I just had to talk to you guys about this. So if you are not familiar, yes, Kanye West was the guest, one of the guests on Timcast IRL last night. And they got about 20 minutes in, counting the countdown. So about 17 minutes in before Kanye walks up and gets out. So I figure we can take a look at exactly what happened and what everybody is missing. Because it is just not, everybody is talking about how Kanye is this and Tim is that. But I think there is so much more to the story that we need to talk about it. So I skipped through, a little bit of the introduction. Like I said, they're only on for a little while. So I want to get the full context of what this actually is. And then we are going to talk about it. So if you've already seen the clip, you can skip forward about 10 minutes, and then we'll get into it.
Yourself. Over the past week, there was a particularly big news story that's resulted in a continued news cycle, which is now going on for over a week, which is in many ways unheard of. But right now, because Donald Trump went to dinner with Ye and Nick Fuentes, among others, he is now being denounced by Mike Pence, several Republican senators, and for whatever reason, this story, for many reasons I suppose people have made, this story has persisted till today. And we are able to actually sit down with several of the individuals involved in that story, notably Ye, Nick Fuentes, and Mel Yiannopoulos, of course, who made the dinner happen.
So those are the guests for the Timcast IRL episode. It's supposed to be a conversation with Kanye West, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Nick Fuentes. So regardless of what you think of those individuals, certainly they are the type of people who are, gonna entertain you, whether you're gonna be happy about it or not. The question is, why are these guys with Kanye, or Ye, should I say? I think it's there's so let's watch a little bit more and then we'll get into it.
Understanding,
or at least got the. I had the dinner invite before I met Milo.
Okay, my bad. There you go. So we're gonna jump right into this story.
I just overcomplicated it.
Absolutely. So we're gonna
really quickly, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, notifications, share, all that good stuff. Thank you so much, guys.
We're gonna start with that. There's a lot we want to talk about, and you know what, man, this is a very big story. A lot of people have questions about, what were Trump's intentions, why were certain people invited, and Trump, of course, has issued statements. So a lot of people want to know where he stands, and more importantly, what happened there and why.
So they're talking about the dinner, where the four of them went out to dinner. Kanye, Milo, Nick, and Trump had dinner, and they were talking about it, and they were talking about stuff. Nobody really knows what. And so we have all of those people, except for Trump, obviously, in the room, ready to talk about it. And, hey, free ego in the building. What is good? We got Stop Animal Murder and Torture. No, Murder and Torture. Welcome. Just doing a little video on what the hell happened. But yeah, so they're talking about that dinner. And that's what myself, Tim, the rest of the people on the show really wanted to know about it. We've heard, the views that Kanye has recently been espousing. We know that Milo is very bombastic, and then Nick Fuentes has been canceled for being a white nationalist, for a self-avowed white nationalist for a long time. But one of the reasons why I really like Timcast is exactly all of this. This is a perfect example of why cancel culture is bad and why you should, in fact, platform people that have disgusting views. So remember, they're just trying to talk about, also the what did you talk about at dinner?
Questions about what Ye 24 means, and I'll keep that a little bit vague so that they can answer to that and speak more to that. And then, of course, we're going to get into a lot of different issues. However, head over to timcast.com and become a member. We're going to have a members-only uncensored show, which will probably get a bit more in-depth on a lot.
We're usually a little bit more conversational. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. But I just had to talk about this one. if I'm not too much in the comments, that's it, because I do want this to be a standalone video, but I do very much appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, so let's skip to where they were actually talking.
And which of you gentlemen would like to introduce yourself?
Nicholas, please.
Hi, yeah, I'm Nick Fuentes. First time here on the Timcast. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you do?
Oh, I'm a live streamer. I do a show called America First on Cozy.tv.
All right. And of course, Milo, you were here a couple weeks ago.
Yes, I'm your best ever guest.
And that is arguably true, arguably false. That's going to come back later. So remember that.
So we've been told that the episode with you was one of the best podcasts ever. People really enjoyed hearing you speak.
I think it's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks. I was wondering how I was going to make it even more extraordinary the second time I visited, but I think I might have pulled it off.
Luke's here.
Total Sausage Fest tonight. Welcome. My name is Luke
We know
Radowski of
Luke.
NewYorkChange.org.
I want to actually get into the meat. You know how this goes. I want to give you guys the context, but make sure we're okay. Here we go. Okay.
Table. This, of course, is related to a dinner that happened, and I was wrong a little on the details. So a dinner happened. Nick, you were there. Yay, you were there. I just want to start off by how did this dinner come to happen, and what happened?
What up, genders binary?
I was talking to
Love the
Trump
name.
for about a month. We had scheduled the dinner in October, and then he announced for president. He pushed the dinner back to November, and I've been pulling together a campaign. And after I put up the DEF CON tweet, a bunch of people that have been canceled, like Alex Jones, like started getting in contact with other people that were now on the inside of the matrix. And Alex Jones,
Inside of the
producer,
matrix.
said that Milo wanted to contact me, and here we are.
So notice what he just said, that Milo wanted to contact me. Keep that in mind. So Milo was the big guest last time, and Milo put this all
So
together.
that's how you guys got in contact.
Yeah, originally, and then I suggested that we bring in Nicholas as a enormous extra brain firepower that he is. Most extraordinarily brilliant political commentator of his generation.
So Milo brought Nick in as well. I'm starting to see a pattern.
And he's been treated just about as badly as anybody, so I thought he deserved to be in the room too. And yeah, that's pretty much how we got together.
So I have some questions about that, but we'll get through the dinner portion of how exactly this happened, what went down. So
again, Tim is making very clear that, and then after Kanye leaves, he made it clear that before the show, very strictly, they were like, look, we know we're going to get to these anti-Semitism stuff, but this is a news show. We want to talk about what is going on in the news today, and then we'll get there. And of course, they have the after hours members segment where they don't have to worry about YouTube. So that's where this was supposed to be going.
this is how you get in contact, the three of you. How is it that Nick ends up invited to this dinner, and what happened?
Well, he was rolling with me. I was impressed with Nick, and I was like, just come to the dinner. And we had Karen Giorno pick us up from the airport. And there was a lot of back and forth. There's another gentleman named Jamar Montgomery that was with us.
Could be.
He's an engineer at Boeing, and
I'm telling him we should raise everyone's value.
Truth and anti-Semitism are not mutually exclusive. Just because something is true doesn't mean it's not anti-Semitic. Just because something is anti-Semitic doesn't mean it's not true. Just because it's anti-Semitic doesn't mean it's false. Just because something is false doesn't mean it is not anti-Semitic. They are mutually exclusive.
okay, cool. And we sat there, and it was like when Trump came in,
You're welcome.
said, do you want to sit alone? He's like, no, bring your friends in. So a big thing is like Trump had no idea who Nick Fuentes was. But this whole, I just got to go right to the heart of this anti-Semite claim that's happening.
Boom. So we are 5 minutes and 58 seconds into this video, and then the first 15 seconds was the warm-up screen, all of the introductions, and already, even though Tim has specifically said we're going to get into that, don't worry, Kanye's got to go off. So again, I don't want to stop it too much. Let's let it run through. It doesn't go too long. I've got it sped up a little bit, and then we're going to talk about it.
This is something, if you read the definition, it says you can't claim that there's multiple people inside of banks or in media that are all Jewish, or you're anti-Semitic. And that's the truth. Like, it's the truth. What are we talking about? And
Elaborate. What do you mean? You mean
I'm saying, like, I've been labeled anti-Semite, right? So there's different beliefs about our bloodlines, like the documentary that Kyrie posted. And in general, America has been left ignorant and history has been changed. So when we start questioning things that question the indoctrination, then you immediately get, you said debanked, or what did you say happened to you? Or
Demonetized, deplatformed.
Demonized, demonetized. And what's so beautiful about this time is everyone got to see what's really been happening. And now we can really understand. We can see that Ron Emanuel was right next to Obama, and then Jared Kushner was right next to Trump.
but so
Well, that's the claim. And so, you guys, we have the comments going here. Like I said, I'm going to try to address as much as I can, but I want to get through the clip. The claim is that they are in charge. Now, of course, there is a ruling class. There's an elite class. There are the powers that be. When you say they, which is what we're going to get into, is, well, what do you mean by they? So that's, again, I want to just play it through, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Was right next to Trump.
But so we're getting right into it, I guess, right? I was hoping to go for the news first before we got into all of this stuff. I think the issue is, one way to put it is you're expounding upon a localization issue that you've witnessed, right? Let me clarify. There are a handful of people that you see are Jewish in a certain place, and then you associate Judaism with the power, whereas I view that as not relevant to it. Like, yeah, you're substantially more powerful than I am, but I don't view what you're doing as an issue of Black people.
Yeah, but have you ever heard the term the Black vote? So it's okay to put us in one net, but it's not okay for me to put them in one net.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's the basis of the hypocrisy that people have been thinking about and knowing about and realizing for decades. We were all wondering how this dam was going to break. Everybody in the country was wondering, what is the root of this hypocrisy? Why can people talk about white people a certain way? Why can't they talk about that group a certain way? And the wretched and wicked and oppressive prevailing orthodoxy of cancel culture. Well, it turned out that the one thing that was going to break the dam was the biggest star in the world, and it took the biggest star in the world to do it. And now the dam is broken.
So let me tell you my issue. I don't like identitarianism. You guys are familiar.
Facts. What is going on?
Yeah, they started it, and they've been visiting on us. We're trying to break it.
When I was asking you about running for president, you immediately said, well, you'd be good for the Black vote. And I said, is that because I'm Black? No, not just because of that. So is that, are you doing the same thing?
I didn't say that was.
Which isn't a bad point. The fact is, Tim is not the one who has brought up the Black vote as in the lexicon. I don't know the context of their conversation, but he is definitely making a decent point about how it's okay to group some people, but not others. Okay, so far, no harm, no foul. Let's keep going.
The only reason I said it was because you're personable to the common person, and you probably would do well with the Black vote. Absolutely.
Just because I'm Black, because a lot of Black people don't like me.
Of course, I think race plays a role in a lot of things. Absolutely, and I think that's for.
I think the construct of race has really been forced upon us as just something for us to be woke about and just constantly talk about and use it as these like walls.
Could you say the same thing about Judaism?
Well, let's look at the facts of what I'm saying, though. If you say in this neighborhood where they gerrymander, there's this amount of time. So, hey, I wasn't doing that. I was just gerrymandering the lawyers and the Hollywood executives and the people at the bank that debanked me and then froze my accounts. It's like we want to.
So again, I don't want to stop this too much, but they're kind of just going. He's kind of just going through why he thinks that the they is Jewish people.
Jump into protecting the idea that we can't put a net around something, right? But that's been my job as a producer, to take a Roy Ayers sample and put a James Brown drum and put it within a 2-minute, 3-minute song. That's the way I actually think, and that's the way I talk. And now this morning I found out that they were trying to put me in prison because what they did was I moved 140 million.
This is the story that we should have gotten, but because Kanye can't take a tiny little bit of pushback, we'll never know.
$1 million into JP Morgan. And I said, I want to talk to Jamie Dimon. Like, look at me. I'm just going in naive, multi-billionaire. Like, maybe Jamie Dimon will let me in on some deal flow. Wrong. And I'm just like banging my hands like, I want to meet with Jamie. And I start complaining online. And then they debank me for complaining. And so I'm about to get debanked. They're like, you need to go to Trump's the bank, AXO, whatever, you got to go. And I'm like, I've been trying to buy my own bank for the longest. And then we figure out how to get my own bank. It's like 50 million, 75 million. So I'm about to buy my own bank. But then
It's like, whatever.
as you're about to take the money out, here comes Adidas with a $275 million bill for marketing funds that they agreed upon. Because I said to them, hey, I'm the marketing, give me the marketing fund, which proves by the response they got when they, stole the designs and said, we're going to not call them Yeezys anymore. So this is what I was already fighting Adidas for. So I'm fighting Gap, get out of Gap, fighting Adidas. And then I deal with this little bit of noise from, Zionism from the fashion world where they use this plant named Gabby.
So remember that all of this is happening. All the things that he's talking about, they're all happening at the same time. And he is, what is up, Vincent? Welcome to the party. Thank you. Please definitely like the video. And all the things that Kanye is talking about, there was a lot of things happening at one time. And I want to tie this into Britney Spears. I want to tie this into Dave Chapelle. And there was somebody else that I forgot. But again, I just want to get through the clip. We're about halfway there. And then let's chat about it.
He's obviously like some kind of CIA agent, knows nothing about fashion. This is a certain thing. When someone can't dress, you know that they're not like a fashion person. They're just there as like the society, like the control that they try to use with celebrities, which has now been broken, right? Because where it broke. Okay, I want to get on like LeBron in a second, but I'm going to come back to this and just talk about this morning where.
Do you remember, those of you who were here, that when we did the Kanye and Tucker stream, he was talking about Trump. Tucker asked him something. He said something about Trump. Then he stopped for a second and he went to talk about Moses. And it was like, what are you talking about? But we stopped. We broke it apart. And we were like, oh, okay. I mean, I certainly don't agree with what he's saying, but what he's saying is internally logic and is consistent. And if this man definitely has a lot going on up there, but I don't think he is being handled well. And I use that word very specifically, as you're about to see.
I'm not going to mention her name because she's a nice lady, but someone at Cohen Resnick tells me, and I tell all of my finance people, never use the term a lot, but they said, okay, you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes. And that made me feel like they're just like waiting, like we finally got him. We finally can put him in jail. And I was like, can I still run for president in jail? I found out I could. So I was like, okay, that's fine then. It'll be okay.
But if you were Jeffrey Epstein, they wouldn't touch your bank account. They would allow you to break the rules, regulations, just like JP Morgan and Chase did, just like Deutsche Bank did. So there is an issue to bring up with that. But when it comes to the race stuff, I think this is an important discussion to have because I
have to complete this thought. You guys got to.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
So notice that part. Well, I have to finish this thought. Bro, you've been talking for the last 6.5 minutes straight. There's 5 people on this panel. And it's a conversational podcast. This isn't an interview where it's, hey, yay, what do you think about all the things that you think about and what's going on in your life? And because of the fact, again, keep that in mind.
Because I'm talking about literally finding out that they were trying to put me in prison this morning. Watch this. So
This morning.
Yes. So now.
Oh, God damn it.
Not come to my house this morning, but I found out, okay. So they put a $75 million hold on 4 of my accounts. And then they said, you owe a lot of taxes. Took me like 6 hours to find out how much a lot was. They said, well, around $50 million. Now I'm going to different CFOs like, okay, so would this be tax evasion? Because I'm obviously not the most financially literate person on the planet. I was just a child, basically. Like when you become famous, you stop growing at that point. I became famous at age 24 and I had handlers around. I had my mom around, different things. And it was always like you go from one handler to the next handler to the next handler.
Real quick, if that's your life, why in the, not 20 minutes yet, why in the F would I vote for you as president? Vincent's here. I don't know if you're supporting me, your brother, or him, your brother, or Tim, your brother, but I love the support all the way around. Yeah, Jenner's Meyer say, I want to know what he thinks. He's saying what we all need to hear. I don't know if we all need to hear it in the sense that he has these ideas that we all need to abide by. But we all need to hear it in the sense that we want to know what these people are thinking. And when they get canceled, it's not like they stop thinking. We just stop knowing what it is that they're thinking.
So now I get to actually learn how to run a company. I get to learn how to, to count. Really,
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Like, I didn't even know where to put the money. Like literally making $300 million cash, but you're just like a high-priced, you know, we're not going to use the S word just because it's like too passe to use it, but it's like next year I was
High-priced S word? A high-priced hooker, but but I don't know.
supposed to make $500 million in royalties, and like no one needs this amount of money. But when I would work on homeless shelters and ideas, I'd have a contractor, we won't say what race, and they'd be tearing down the contracts. It's all about, position. It's not about the amount of money that you have. And, to come in here, I feel like it's a setup to be like defending. I'm not going to go through another, like I'm literally going to walk the F off the show if I'm sitting up here having a, talk about, you can't say that it was Jewish people that did it, when every sensible person knows that. I mean, Jon Stewart knows what happened to me, and they took it too far. It was like American History X. Like my head was on the side of the curve, and the exact people that I called out kicked my head. We found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development in the Canadian military, essentially working on PSYOPs in the Canadian military. This is Harley Pasternak.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean,
They would have Michael Jackson.
or worse, yeah.
So
Look what they did. Look what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now. You can see there's not much of her left.
You mentioned Pasternak was the name.
Yes, Harley Pasternak. That's the text message that you posted that we were talking about before.
Here's
That's the lobotomy.
Right.
Yeah.
Before the show, obviously, I'm getting a bunch of messages from people. People are hitting me up, and they're like, "You shouldn't host
Yep.
them. They're anti-Semitic. They're white supremacists. They're racist." I do find it funny or weird, whatever, that, Nick, they call you white supremacist. You're here working with or for, one of the most powerful black men.
So, okay, this is the the exchange that causes Kanye to get up and everybody else to follow. Again, I'm just playing it for context. What I really want to talk about is everything beyond that. So stick with me. I just like to have the context. I'm sure you guys have seen this, but just hang out, and then we're going to get into the meat.
One of the wealthiest and most famous. But a lot of people are saying, on the right specifically, don't platform them. And I said, well, I want to understand what they're thinking, why they're thinking it. They're involved in what may be the biggest news story of the past week, and we have an opportunity to sit down and talk.
Because the red media controls both sides. It just said it as simple as possible. Jared Kushner was next to Trump. Ron Emanuel was next to Obama. But since 1940, go ahead.
I was going to say, isn't that an issue of these individuals? Like you're extrapolating.
I'm going to order with the last of my money that's available in a different account. I'm going to order a PJ before I sit and have another Lex Friedman setup conversation. When I'm literally they're trying to put me in jail for my opinion.
But
I'm not going to have that opinion. I don't care about people. Those are bots that are trying to tell you. We realize, look at Pence. He sold Trump out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would have never wanted to do anything that hurt Trump. I'm on Trump's side. Trump said things that hurt me. He lied about me, but I mean, he's known for lying. And when people used to tell me that, he's a liar, it's like, I went into the trenches for Trump. That's another conversation. There was no one in my position that wore that hat. And all of my surroundings exhausted me. It was like death by 1,000 questions. I know I'm jumping to another thing, but what I'm saying is, I know you got a rep for your.
Again, I just want to pat myself on the back, and I'm jumping to another thing. See, I called that. I said, if we just slow down and listen to what the man is actually trying to say, then it may not. Again, you may not agree with it, but it definitely does make sense. Again, I'm sorry. I'm gonna call you Stop. Like I said, you can see the clip everywhere. I'm just putting it in here for context. I want to get through it so we can talk about the stuff that I actually want to talk about. Welcome, Jiva Pira Games. Welcome to the party. Yeah, saying Ye is irrelevant doesn't really work when this is the biggest news story, at least of the week.
People online, but it's you got a person in real life that I'm not with it, bro. I lost the money for the freedom of speech, and that's what makes me the only American that we know that really deserves to run the country. Because everyone else, your boy DeSantis, Trump, whoever they raise in a petri dish over on the Democrat side, is going to play the game.
Look,
and,
here's what I was trying to get to. You went right into the anti-Semite thing. I think it's something that should be talked about. But if you start bringing this up, you're going to ask my opinion on it. I'm going to disagree with you.
I didn't ask your opinion on it. You jumped into it.
But
I don't care about your opinion. I like your opinion on how we win an election, but I don't care about anybody's opinion, bro. I lost. They tried to put me in jail.
So what does that tell us? He does actually. I'm going to take notes because again, I want to make sure I want to get through this and then we'll talk about it.
He blocked $2 billion I had. Like what I told Farrakhan, I said, "Look, is it anti-Semitic for me to say his name out loud?" Like I told
minister.
Yeah, the minister. Like I told
Obama met with him too.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I mean, the Jewish people allowed Obama to meet with the minister. So Farrakhan said, "Well, did he have the money?" The contract for the next 4 years, if I hadn't done anything, would have been $500 million a year for 4 years. What I was fighting for was the IP, so my children could, I'm sorry, just sometimes I think about 7 thoughts at one time, because anything I see, I come up with like 7 answers to it. And then just
Told ya!
But the thing is, when I said my children, the reason why my brain kind of blocked, because it's like God is saying, your children are going to be okay. Baby mama's got money, right? God is using me. He's breaking me down.
Could not disagree more. Could not disagree more.
Removing all of the, richest person, all of this, so I can serve him. And the more and more those things are taken away from me, the more I can be empty and be a vessel and be able to be used. And right now, it's like, you're not going to take.
That's another part that if you guys are new here, I am the Indian Jesus, but I am very much an atheist. And so when you're talking about being an empty vessel for God, and you have this amount of power, you have this amount of money, that scares me.
If we can't, you're not going to take my pain away, right? The Jewish people say it's the Holocaust, this happened, and you can't say anything about it. We can't take their pain away. No one's going to denounce the fact that they tried to lock me up. That's what, because every time I'm just holding stride, and it's like, I thought I was more Malcolm X, but I find out I'm more MLK, because as I'm getting hosed down every day by the press and financially, I'm just standing there. And when I found out that they tried to put me in jail, it was like a dog was biting my arm, and I almost shed a tear, almost, but I still walked in stride through it.
Yeah. I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
So you can see it on the screen. This is the line that it's Tim's show. So at the end of the day, Tim screwed up because he knows that the "they" is a hot button word. So he says, "I think they've been extremely unfair to you." Now, those of us who don't live in anti-Semitism world, those of us who live in the regular world, and those of us who may not be associated with either one, but know Tim, when he says they've been extremely unfair to you, what he's talking about is the mainstream media and the people who are who watch the mainstream media and only the mainstream media. I am Team Lutch. I am Team the Indian Jesus. Whatever is best for the Indian Jesus is best for America, really. So I have the best values of all people everywhere, anywhere, ever. So I should just be the ruler of the world. No, just kidding. But so they've been extremely unfair to you. That's what he said. They have been extremely unfair to you.
Who is they, though? We can't say they is
corporate press. I'm not using I don't use the word as.
So again, the captions didn't catch it, but he said the corporate press. So one more time, real quick, because this is the last 2 minutes of the whole thing. Struggle streaming.
They've been extremely unfair to you.
Who is they, though? We can't say they is
corporate press. I'm not using I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking
It is
about
them, though, isn't it? I mean, because and because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018,
Is it though?
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about, are you leaving?
Are you referring to the press?
And he's gone.
I'll say it right now. You guys want to bring that stuff up? And then
have the discussion.
Not gonna have a conversation.
Have the discussion.
Like you think he's gonna come in here and say, "Here's my pain, here's my suffering." I'm gonna say, "I hear you," and then he's gonna say, "And it was Jewish people." And I'm gonna be like, "Okay, but don't you consider?" So I'm not gonna do this. I refuse.
Make sure he's cool.
All right, go for it. Luke and I will have a
Make sure he's cool.
conversation. So
And notice who else you don't hear from. We're just gonna watch another 2 minutes, and then we're done. With
I can't say I'm surprised. What do I even do? Other than ask him, please elaborate on this. Are you referring to individuals, or are you quite literally blaming an entire group of people for the fact that powerful individuals are causing you harm?
I really wanted to ask Nick about
Milo?
his thoughts about MLK, because I know they contradict
So he's pointing at Nick,
his comments about that. But
and look at where his finger went. So Milo followed Yeah.
Should
No,
ask
I'm
Nick
gonna
about
see
his
if he's
thoughts
okay.
about Emma.
Look at where Luke's finger's pointing.
Okay, because I know they
Now, where is it?
contradict
Now, where is it?
Hayes' comments about that.
So that is why we don't see any of the three of them for the rest of the episode. The fact is, something is going on. So I have done not too much research. I've just been kind of watching, what other people have been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about the stuff that I have thought about when Kanye has been relevant, when other people have been in this specific situation. So that's why the first person that came to mind was Dave Chapelle. So for those of you, what is going on here? So for those of you who might be a little younger, if you don't remember, it was the mid to late 2000s when Chappelle Show was at its peak, and all of the things, every single one of the things that Kanye just talked about, not the brands themselves, not fashion specifically, but the handlers and people trying to get you to do this and that, and medications, all of that stuff is exactly why Dave Chappelle gave up the most successful comedy skit show and just went to Africa for months, because he had to get out of what I think Kanye is experiencing right now. So, hey, thank you, Dan. I really do appreciate that. Yes, yesterday was my birthday. Thank you so much. Welcome to the party. So Dave Chappelle was the first person I thought of. So I'm like, okay, we have precedent for somebody at least claiming this stuff. Thank you, Genders Binary, very, very much. I appreciate that. And we have then, if you think about what Dave Chappelle did, and Dave Chappelle is somebody who can handle himself, clearly. But then you look at Britney Spears. Look at Britney Spears. What comes to mind when I say Britney Spears? Is it her name? Is it her song Lucky? Is it that movie that she did at some point that she maybe did or didn't do? Or is it her shaving her head in 2007? For me, it's her shaving her head. And at the time, the conversation around mental health and all that stuff really wasn't where it is now. And Stop is absolutely correct. Britney got jerked out of all of her money. Yep, all of her money by her dad. And because she started so young, because she started so young, then of course her parents were the ones who were in charge of not only the money, but her well-being. So you see people who are who don't have the artist's best interests at heart doing things that are not in that person's exactly, bald and crazy. But there's a reason for that. And and even now that she's gone through, and I haven't followed her story that closely, but now that she's gone through, I believe the proper channels to get her stuff in her own name. No need to apologize, brother. We love the trolls here, as long as you are funny and as long as you are not getting me in trouble with YouTube or Twitch. We love the trolls. Just be funny and be good at it. Because if you suck, then we don't like that. So I'm thinking about this idea of handlers and people being around and people who don't have their best interests at heart, trying to get somebody of stature, somebody of clout, and how that's affecting them. So again, we get back to the question, why is he with MILO and Nick Fuentes? Yeah, right. You can be a troll. You just got to be good at it. Then again, as I stopped and paused, everything that happened was due to MILO. MILO is pulling the strings. Now, I don't know if you guys, I don't know how long some of you guys have been here with me. I see a lot of new names, which I definitely appreciate. But the getting ahead of me, genders binary, getting ahead of me. Kind of, but not really. Kind of. I think that he has been under the boot of his handlers in the the music realm, and then before the Balenciaga debacle, they were trying to distance themselves. Adidas, all these people. So now he's been cast out. So then he's looking for a new place to fit in. He said, when you become famous, your growth is stunted at that time because you bounce from handler to handler. So the fact is that I think he got famous in his early 20s. So at 20 years old, he's basically Arrested Development. And now that he has been cast out because of, his mental health issues that have been mixed with what I believe is a genuine red pilling in the political context, that, going from, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Like, that's what I that works on a lot of people. And so seeing that, okay, the Republican Party is not only not what it was always presented me as, that's not really what it is, but also with Trump in office, then it's a little bit more, it's a little bit different than the false picture that we were even getting before. So the picture we were getting before was worse than it really was, and now because of Trump, it's not even as bad as how bad it used to be. So it's getting big. Hey, we got indie film in the building. What is good, brother? Yep. Like I say, I sometimes stream whenever I want. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a party. He said, I was always a MILO fan because he was a loose cannon. Now that may be an issue. Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm thinking. If you remember, as I was saying, a bunch of you guys are new here, which I very much appreciate. Thank you very much. Lauren Southern, maybe 3, 4, I don't know. Time runs together. A few months ago, she put out like this manifesto. I don't think she had been on YouTube for that long, or she had took a break from YouTube. And then she came back with this whole thing about what really goes on behind closed doors, and the Republicans and conservatives act like they're, the uptight Christian ones that do everything right. But really, there's all this, shadiness going on, and everybody's just out for themselves. And at the heart of her story was Milo Yiannopoulos. She talked about how when she was just coming up, he was reaching out to help her. And then as she was getting bigger and he was getting bigger and he got canceled, he would be very manipulative, all that kind of stuff. So then when I hear that Milo is pulling all of these strings, then it makes me go, So I want to show you a clip from the last time that Milo was on Timcast, because I wasn't aware. So if you're not aware, previously, or up until very recently, Milo has been a huge Trump fan. Well, that I knew, but up until recently is the part I didn't know. He apparently, I don't know what the situation was. I don't know what happened, but I guess Daddy Trump is no longer Daddy Trump. And so let's just compare a couple months, maybe a month ago, to where he is. Let's get to some of these comments here. It might be his handlers. But says, I don't buy that. Kanye has been crazy for a while. Definitely. Absolutely, he has been crazy. But he has had his previous handlers. And when you're married to Kim Kardashian, then you're going to get the top tier handlers who are going to be able to make your crazy look exactly how they want it to look. He's now divorced from Kim Kardashian. He now no longer works with The Gap. He now no longer works with Balenciaga. He now no longer works with Adidas. So what is the next step for somebody who, in this very short interview, was talking about how when you become famous, you go from handler to handler to handler. And I don't think that he is saying that Milo and Nick Fuentes are my handlers. I think he's aware of the fact that that happens in general, but he's not seeing that it's happening to him right now. Not because they got canceled too, but just because they saw the opportunity. Western European, my religion is Adidas. Fair enough. Joel's also what? Frigo says, I think it's a little too much to say Milo was pulling the strings on Kanye. At least now that Kanye is reflecting on his own weaknesses as a person. Is he though? Because I'm pretty sure he just walked out of an interview after 5 seconds when it was very cordial. So I don't know how much reflecting he's really doing. Jiva Piera, I'm going to call you Games because I'm terrible at reading. Games says, well, if we going to Biden thing, how about Hunter Biden laptop? Yeah, I mean, yo, check the channel. We talk about all of this. So the clip that I want to show you guys is from only 2 weeks ago. This was 2 weeks ago. This is Milo Yiannopoulos on Timcast.
If we took Trump and DeSantis and we made a Venn diagram of everything they agreed on, what are the differences that you see that DeSantis doesn't have? That what is that X factor that Trump does have that you're talking about?
Well, you just said it. Trump is
The X factor.
Trump is a once in a generation charismatic authority that cannot be replicated. It cannot be imitated.
This is good context for you, go.
As somebody who has a little slice of that kind of charisma myself, and has experienced a retinue of desperate clingers and imitators in my life, I can tell you it never pans out trying to, just snatch the bits that you can stomach from the guy everybody loves and otherwise keep serving your special interests.
So keep this comment in mind as we watch this, because this was 2 weeks ago where Milo was all about Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump, Daddy Trump. And this episode specifically, if you watch Timcast, you know it's a conversational show. It goes back and forth, and this person will jump in, and that person will jump in. This episode was 90 minutes. They did all the introductions. Go sign up at timcast.com. Today we have Milo, and then he talked for 90 minutes. And all right, let's go to Super Chats. So I have a feeling that he was expecting, Kanye was expecting that he would be able to go in and have the platform to just talk. And so when it may not be that he wasn't willing to take pushback or that he couldn't take pushback, although he certainly couldn't take that pushback. It may have been that he thought that he was going in to just spew. Now, is that because Milo did the same thing? And, Tim talks about, he'd been canceled for 5 years. He had a lot to get off his chest. And for this particular situation, it made sense for Milo to just go and go and go and go and go. But not in the Kanye sense. So the question, again, about Milo pulling the strings, did Milo know that he had special treatment? Did Milo know and tell Kanye that he would be able to go on Timcast and talk about, whatever he wants? After later in after the guys leave, Tim talks about how Kanye was saying, oh, we should do this every week. Like, what? You want to just come here and have a place to... That's not what this is. We talk about the news. So, again, the question is, did Milo put it in Kanye's brain that he would be able to do this and just speak? So that when that wasn't the case, he's like, what the fuck? I thought I'd be able to come in, say what I want to say. Everybody's interrupting me. Fuck this. I'm leaving. But so keep that in the back of your head, because listen to how much he actually does talk throughout this whole thing. And again, Tim was asking, what's so special about Trump? He says, just that X factor. And
Trump is a, look, whether you believe in God or not, you could express this in terms of ordainment if you wanted to, or you could just say that some people are born with a magical kind of personality that captivates people in a way that nobody else can
But so-
can imitate.
In terms of what people are getting from
DeSantis, on the other hand, has no.
Again, right there. He just did it right there. So he laid out a very specific thing, and Tim tried to say something, blew right past it. Listen to it again. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. I just want you to get the feel for what I'm talking about here.
Can imitate.
in terms of what people are getting from
DeSantis, on the other hand,
Blows right past it.
has no identifiable personality at all.
Well, sure. But what symbol, policy, feeling do people get from Trump? What victory?
You're
do you
making
get?
the mistake that all politically minded people make, which is assuming that people vote on the basis of policy.
I said feeling.
DeSantis has scored some victories in Florida. He's been an excellent governor in Florida, and that's where he should stay, because he's been a very successful and excellent governor in Florida. But as I said, people like him in some bits of Florida almost as much as they like Trump. But ask them to choose.
I'm
he's
trying to figure
Now,
out
on the
the gain people get from Trump they don't get from DeSantis, and that can be emotional.
It's precisely that magical intangible that you try to articulate and stumble, and then when you go to a rally, you're like, "That's what I was talking
It's
about."
kymatics, man. It's vibration. It actually alters DNA.
I don't know about that, but
Sound can change the way people's body
that
structure.
sounds like nonsense. But
It's real. That's amazing. That's why music can heal people and stuff.
no.
So people's voices.
Definitely not. But
I love Ian. And anybody who says that Ian does not belong in the show does not understand the point of the show. A little bit longer.
But there are people who are born with that gift, and
So again, he's
they
talking about
typically
Trump.
find some way in which to express it.
But-
Some
but-
of them become singers. Some of them
Talking
become
over him
actors.
again.
And
Saying Trump exudes
Rarely.
charisma doesn't quantify what's happening for us in a way that So for me,
of course
right?
it does.
Well,
He's
right.
mesmerizing.
I get that. But what do so a lot of people are motivated.
He is an
I think
intoxicant that blots out the sun. There
What-
is
what
no
does an
conventional
intelligent-
political candidate who has a chance.
What does an intelligent individual, a working class person, gain from that? A good feeling?
I don't know what kind of logical fallacy that is. What does an intelligent person gain? Like,
Well, because you're saying the average person doesn't care about
I can't
policy.
speak for intelligent people, but
So if no one actually cares about what their politicians are doing for them, then why should I care about Trump over DeSantis?
What happened in 2016 was the last time that half this country felt good about themselves and like there might be hope. You cannot fight that.
Hope for what?
Trump.
What?
You're gonna have to Google that one. I cannot talk about it, or I will also be canceled.
Their world wouldn't be ripped apart by social engineering and by other things I can't mention right now until the third hour. But there are things going on in this country that threaten the very basis of our civilization.
So you can see that he is domineering. If you're not familiar with the Timcast show, it is very much a back and forth roundtable type of discussion. And he kind of just took over the conversation. And like I said, I would have liked more of a back and forth with everybody. But Tim himself said that he seemed like it was fine to just have him go off. It was the first time he was on a major platform in 5 years, so on and so forth. So, but again, this is him just fawning over Trump. So the main thing that made me want to discuss this, because I, of course, know what's going on. We were talking about it during my show last night, and it was very interesting to watch. But I never planned on really talking about it because it seems like a self-contained, like, oh, this happened, more Kanye, this is whatever. But I think this is something that we need to continue to follow. This is why I didn't want to wait till tomorrow. This is why I just am doing this kind of as a standalone video. So again, sorry if I'm not as attentive to the chat as always. Shout out to the replay gang. I'm ignoring these motherfuckers who are here with me live. All of them. Stop Animal Murder and Torture. Games is here. Free Ego. Vincent's here. Indie Film. They're all here. And I'm all but ignoring them for all of you who couldn't be bothered to be here. So hit that subscribe button. So make sure you can be part of that. And I don't have to worry about that next time. So if you're not familiar with ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, he is another commentator. He played a little bit of the clip, and then he had a very interesting collection of points to make. So let's dive into this, and then we'll see.
A little bit of kickback. And I think Tim was talking to Nick Fuentes right there about the whole Jade question. And he was like, well, I don't think it's really them, like as a group. Like throughout this little 10-minute thing, matter of fact, let me come back so you can see me clearly. I gotta just come back. So here's how the actual
Really?
thing started. They started talking about the dinner. And I'll show that in a minute. They're talking about the dinner at first. And almost immediately, after maybe about 3 minutes or so, Kanye said, okay, I ain't talking about that no more. He didn't declare it. He just talking about the dinner and then said, well, I want to get into the whole anti-Semitic thing. He just voluntarily jumped straight into it. But Tim Pool did not start with that. That was not the main thing. The main thing was
we got
dinner.
that. We got that. We got
Between-
Okay, so he's calling Milo one of the most toxic people
in the whole world, and also Nick Fuentes, who's also very toxic, but nowhere near the level of Milo. Milo is very dangerous. I'll talk about him in a minute. But let's watch this right here so you get a little bit.
Replay gang, do you see what you are doing? Dan is a valued member of this community. How dare you? I better see apologies in the comments for all these people who are here live.
Bit more context as to why Kanye is with these guys.
I was wrong a little on the details. So a dinner happened. Nick, you were there. Ye, you were there. I just want to start off by how did this dinner come to happen and what happened?
Hold on. I know we already saw this. Don't worry. I got you. Okay, this is the part that I want.
For quite a while, but the podcast, first of all, is called Timcast, not Yaycast. Number one. Number two, they have a conversation. They talk to each other. That's the whole format of the show. And Tim Pool put out a few things. He was saying before the show started that Ye or somebody from Ye's particular little camp right there was saying they should do it every week. Meaning Ye come on the show, maybe with Nick and Milo, and talk every week. And it's like, well, what is this? Am I now your podcast? Have you taken over my podcast now? That's not how it's going to work. I have a podcast. Thank you for being here, Kanye West, or Ye, whatever you want to be called. Thank you for being here. But this ain't your show. Make your own podcast. Tim Pool is somebody. You can't just come on the show and take it over. Even if he wasn't a somebody, you can't take man show over. Build your own show. I'm having you on my platform, but we got certain.
Come on, bro, get to the shit.
I don't care if you're celebrity or not. Okay, and let's read what Milo posted.
Okay,
Trump's.
So this is within the last 2 weeks. This is on Parler. What Milo was saying.
SCOTUS appointments were pointless. We defended a selfish clown for nothing. I lost everything helping to put Trump in office. My life and career were completely destroyed. Was it worth it? No. I feel utterly betrayed. I will have vengeance.
What was that last line? I will have vengeance.
I'm dedicating the rest of my life to the destruction of the Republican Party. That's what he's.
I am dedicating my life, Milo says, to the destruction of the Republican Party. So if that's what you're thinking, and just a few week ago, you were talking about how badly you wanted Trump to win, then yeah, that'd be a good idea. It just seems a little odd that now not only are you no longer talking about Trump, but now you want to run against him. It stinks. Something stinks. This seems like another opportunity for Milo to latch on to somebody who has more clout than him so that he can stay relevant. Now, Nick Fuentes is somebody who is, he's been in the sphere of like Destiny type people and Sneeko and stuff like that. He's got his cozy TV thing. He's banned off everything, and he's openly a white nationalist. So if I'm Milo, and all of a sudden I decide that I need vengeance, all of a sudden I decide that I'm dedicating my life to the destruction, as he says, of the Republican Party. Well, what's the first thing you're going to do? Who is the top guy in the Republican Party? Donald Trump. Who are three people that are extremely toxic to your average person? Even those like Anthony Bryan Logan, who is a very well-known conservative Republican, straight down the line, Trump supporting everything. he called 2 people toxic in this video. So my question is, did Milo set this up specifically to make Trump look bad? Now, I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. But I think a lot of you do. And I think it's an important question to ask. I think the fact of the matter is we have a lot of big personalities with a lot of money and a lot of influence playing a game that isn't really a game, but they don't see it that way. So I don't have a lot of answers here. I have a lot of questions, and this is going to be something we're going to be talking about a lot. So this certainly isn't the end all be all stream of this, but it certainly begs the question: why the sudden switch, and what exactly is going on with that group? That trio is it's not an odd trio in the sense that I wouldn't expect them to be linked up together. But the combination of their ideas, their influence, and their money is absolutely worrying. Not even just them getting in power, but the influence that they can have on what would otherwise be a fair, political landscape. Frigo says Milo might be a grifter, but he understands that first impressions matter. And to the general public, he's an unknown. So he can get away with shifting? Oh, shifting his policy. I don't know. I mean, yes, he definitely can. Because now he went from a super gay Trump supporter to a straight Christian Trump hater. So he definitely can get away with that because nobody knows who he is. But this is exactly why everyone needs to be platformed. Somebody gave me shit for posting for covering the Tucker Carlson interview with Ye. They're like, how could you in good conscience do this? I'm like, it's unconscionable to cover the news. And this person was Jewish. And they're like, no, but it's unconscionable to platform somebody who wants to kill me. Take a seat. Take a seat. I'm sure Kanye is not coming after you. So just, a lot of weird shit going on. There's one little thing that I want to show you that is, the last piece that put this all together for me to decide, okay, I am going to sit down and talk about this. Destiny, I've never heard of this show before, but Destiny was on The Biggest Problem in the Universe. I guess that's a show. Never heard of it. But they were talking about it. He was on No Jumper earlier that day while it was happening. And then they were talking about it. And the reason this is important and relevant is because Destiny and Nick Fuentes have had lots of conversations. And they don't know each other very well, but they know where each other stand very well. And Destiny can read these types of situations very well. So let's see what he's got to say.
Favorite rapper of all time is here backing me up on my
Come on.
realist anti-Semitism. Like, it would a million fucking years. I said my favorite politician father figure and my favorite rapper father figure both love me, and it turns out they all hate the Jews. And not even, but it's not even like a little bit. He's like putting him to shame. Like, Ye is running off a show. He hates Jewish people so much. And Fuentes is like following him, like trying to be on that level of Jew hatred,
Yeah,
like,
can you believe it? Fuentes every day must be like, I'm going to wake up in the VR simulation and take the headset off and it's all going to be gone. Like, this must be an illusion.
So remember, if Milo's plan is to make Trump look as bad as possible, then Nick Fuentes and Kanye West, that's a good place to start.
How much do you hate the Jews that, like, Poole gives the gentle, he's like, all the Jews? And Ye's like, get me out of here. What do you mean all the Jews? What do you mean all of them?
Yeah,
of course.
you could tell he was like, you could tell he was going to come up with one of those Lex Friedman things. Like, okay, wait, right after Tim Pool said, you'd be good for the black vote. But I don't like talking with Jews. I don't want to talk about any sort of race like in that possible way. Like, well, did you mean I'd be good for the black vote then? What was that?
We're gonna do the radio thing real quick just for
go
those of you who
ahead.
don't know what we're talking about. Tonight, Ye and his entourage
We'll
of
let that
Milo
play for those of you
Yiannopoulos
just
and
joining
Nick
us.
Fuentes appeared on the Tim Pool radio program. Where a
Briefly.
very briefly, a bit of
Not entourage groupies.
Groupies.
Okay, let's get it right. Get it right. Let's get it
Oh,
right.
no.
Okay.
heck,
Groupies, a very interesting word. Again, the question is, why is Kanye with Milo Yiannopoulos and Nick Fuentes, of all people? Because nobody else wants to legitimize what he's doing. But Nick Fuentes can sure get a lot of exposure being right next to Kanye and going to dinner with Trump. And Milo can sure get a lot of exposure running a campaign with Kanye West.
hangers on.
Don't you wish you were still friends with Nick, as the news calls him, Fuentes?
I wish I could be friends with Nick just so that I could have ran off to suck Ye's dick before he did. I wanted him to come into that room with me and Milo on each fucking ball, and he's like, "Oh no, am I too late? Did he already nut?" Like, that's what
You
I
think Ye could tell you and Nick apart because you're both mixed race?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You got like one of you Mexicans.
You love Fuentes still.
What do you mean still?
I'm
My
saying,
love for Nick Fuentes is
sounds-
dying. I didn't even know what love was until this week.
Destiny, I think you had an interesting relationship with Nick Fuentes. It sounds like you've kind of fallen out of your favor. Is that incorrect?
You know, we have our phases.
We have our phases.
It's an autistic Hispanic thing. you know?
Sure.
We go back. and
Yeah.
forth.
Dick famously on the show just professes his weird.
Why is it weird?
Right,
The
'cause
two
it
men,
doesn't make any
as a
sense. I know you
bisexual
don't
liberal
actually
man.
agree with anything he says.
Well, I like having my bank accounts more than I like
Okay,
saying.
but he wants like a trad Catholic like world where you don't ever look at a woman with lust in your eyes and you never see a pornographic magazine.
Yeah.
Don't shrug. I know you don't want that.
That's the Nick Fuentes world. He wants just, traditional Christian everything. Prawn is always bad, all that kind of thing. And then, of course, Destiny is the super lefty.
I know this is like against everything Dick Masterson is supposed to stand for.
He's endearing, okay?
He's so funny though.
He is funny, but that's your excuse for everything. Like,
Yeah, but I value that more than all those
I'm gonna
things.
kill you and your whole family, and as long as he was funny about it, you go, well, what am I gonna?
Guys, if you are just joining us, please do me a huge favor. Do the biggest thing that can help this in the algorithm and hit that like button. Thank you so much.
I do.
Yeah, wait, yeah. What is that?
That is the
That's
ultimate.
100%.
That is the ultimate weakness for Dick Masterson. If you can make him laugh, you can do anything.
Did you see that Kanye stole Tim Pool's cookies as he was walking out the door? No.
Pretty funny.
Yo, this was just funny. I don't know who this is, but Ye grabbed a handful of these cookies before he left the Timcast house. A snack for the road. I just that seems very much like a Kanye thing to do.
Get into the break room and
No, you're
grab a
lying.
stack
You're
of
fucking
Fit Newtons.
lying.
No, you did.
Come on! I cannot wait for this new computer. Oh my god.
You did, I swear, that's true.
I don't believe you.
Yay for president.
Do you think he's gonna win? Destiny? You're
You know,
president?
I'm done
Yay.
making predictions about anything political. I think we're past that stage. I wish I could have gotten a fucking recording of what Trump's face looked like when Ye suggested that he runs as his vice president.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on in whose head. I don't know what's
We're
going
back,
on.
baby. We're back.
I've
We're back
never.
in
Here you go. This is a good comment. I'm going to come back to this.
2016.
Yes.
It was a crazy time.
Yeah, we're back, man.
Yo, that's the new poll. Fuck this thing. Would you rather be, in terms of how the internet works, how culture is, and how politics are, on those three things, would you rather be in 2016 or 2022? 2016 or 22? Hit that poll, guys.
Like, this
You
is
see
this
the
is literally.
smile on my
I know
face?
you're like eating this up. Like, you don't understand. All night, this is all. He's like, we're back. We're back. I'm like, what do you mean?
Like
we?
Nick,
What is happening?
Nick Fuentes reverse you peopled Tim Pool. Don't you think? He's like, well, I'm sorry that they treated you that.
This is a
What do you
nightmare.
mean
This is a
they?
nightmare. This is not how politics is supposed to work. This is not how discourse is supposed to work.
Oh, how would you like it? Everybody just calls each
I
other
don't know. Maybe a
pedophile.
guy doesn't walk into a popular podcast, starts spreading crazy anti-Jew, whatever, and then I don't know what's going on. I don't get any of it.
So he's crazy. You're discounting his opinion.
I am. I'm being racist towards Ye.
Yeah, that's ableist.
Where are your parents from? I don't know anything about this video guy. I haven't seen him.
All right,
That's
I
true.
think-
Well, there is always the what do you call it? The ongoing conspiracy
Italian
theory
thing?
that I'm a secret Italian Jew or something.
Oh, there's a
There was a-
conspiracy that you're Jew?
Yeah.
There's Oh, well, that's not the right button. There's a piece of this. I'm gonna skip through a little bit. I want to find there's a point that he was talking about, and I just want to skip through the bullshit. And okay.
It's about that time you were in here and we were talking to Nick Fuentes.
Oh, great. That's good. Feel flattered.
Well, maybe
Maybe
we'll-
call in tonight.
I don't know.
Julian's probably texting
No,
you.
Fuentes.
Oh,
They're
you
not,
wanna
it's not like
talk
they're
to-
doing anything right now, right?
They're
I mean,
just
they're
on
sitting
their
on the
jet.
They left the
Hopefully
show.
They're watching.
You think they're both massaging Kanye's shoulders right now,
Probably, yeah.
telling him what a big W?
okay.
Shoulders,
Yeah.
they're licking his feet. Come
Oh my
on,
God.
Daddy, yay.
It was awesome.
We were, just,
though.
we were talking upstairs, and it's like I can see. It's so funny because Ye walks off, and I know Fuentes. There's some part of his mind where he's like, "Okay, I get 2 hours of Tim Pool alone. I get to preach in front of probably the largest audience I've ever."
This is after. I mean, I had watched all the other stuff that I'd watched already, but it was this comment that Destiny made that really put all of this into perspective. Thinking back to the idea of Dave Chapelle and his handlers, how he dealt with that going to Africa. Britney Spears, as she was dealing with her handlers. Lindsay Lohan in the same category as Britney Spears. Handlers, specifically their parents. I went to college with a guy who was best friends with Lindsay Lohan's brother. And that family was fucked up. Very fucked up.
Emotional damage.
And then you see that you've got Nick Fuentes here just trying to catch on and play the cloud game. And it put it all in perspective.
There's some part of his mind where he's like, "Okay, I get 2 hours of Tim Pool alone. I get to preach in front of probably the largest audience I've
he's
ever
thinking
had
about it.
for a solitude."
Yeah.
And then Milo's
And because remember, Nick is banned, like super canceled. He's on cozy.tv. I don't even know what that is.
like, "I'm gonna go check on him." And Milo scampers off, and Fuentes is like, "Fuck, should I have been the first guy? Should I have been the first guy?" And he's thinking,
that's
he's
true.
probably playing it over in his head, like, "I bet he's in the room. I bet." Yeah, he's like, "Thank you for coming, Milo. Like, come give me a hug and a kiss, baby." And then like 2 minutes later, Fuentes is like, I gotta go, guys. I gotta get."
So it's funny that Destiny brings that up. But I think he is 1,000% on point. I think that is exactly what happened. There is no reason for all of them to have had to leave. Ye walks up and leaves. Okay. Then, understanding under the assumption that Kanye is now Milo's money bag, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check on it, make sure whatever." So why did Nick have to leave? Sounds like exactly what I've been talking about.
Here. And he like runs off, like trying to find, like, where are they at? Oh my, it's like the saddest fucking like leech behavior ever. It is like fucking his blue Ye approved sweatshirt. It's probably the third time in this guy's life he's ever had a fucking. This guy's in a.
Here's such a hater. This is such jealousy that's coming out of you. They're just jealous that first of all, he's got the ear of Ye and that he's controlling the political. Like,
Frigo, would you be down to come up and chat about it?
Nick Fuentes.
He's the future vice president of America.
He's arrived.
With his thumb on the scale.
Yeah.
His thumb is on the
And his
scale.
other thumb up Kanye's ass.
And number two, he totally embarrassed Tim Pool. You're also jealous of that.
He did. They made him look like a fool, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that's what we're gonna do. So 100% of you said 2016. I love it. So the next poll is a good one. Who came out worse between I'm not all involved, but who came out worse from this situation? Tim or Kanye? And fair enough, Frigo. So I have not forgot about this comment. I just want to finish this up, and then I'm gonna come back to that, and then we're gonna wrap up and head over to Discord.
Yeah.
That's how some people are interpreting it. I don't know how to feel about it.
Really?
Who comes out on top in that scenario?
Well, I'm gonna give you guys a second. And hey, Divine and Rod is in the building. What is good, brother? Divine and Rod never misses a stream, never does not comment. Every single short, every single video that I put out on this channel, there is a comment from Divine and Rod. And if you guys could do half of what he does, then this channel would be on the moon by now. So thank you so much, Divine and Rod. Yeah, man. I just had to talk about this this Kanye stuff. So we're actually, I'm not doing a full stream. I kind of just want to get this as a, I kind of want to get this down because I think this is really going to really going to build as time goes. I don't think this is going to be something that happens and then we're just going to forget about it. I think this is going to keep happening. And I didn't want to push this till tomorrow. So, maybe tomorrow more stuff will come out and we'll be talking about this. But yeah, man, it is some shady shit going on.
All right, Tim Pool or Yay?
Really? It's got to be Pool. Yay, left. He gets the gentlest of pushback. It's like a fucking breeze and he falls over.
Yeah, but that's like so yay that he's just
vote
like,
if you haven't voted.
Like
Vote if you haven't
read
voted.
what they were gonna say, and then he's like, I'm getting out before it even happens. That's how many levels above you I am right now.
I don't like identity. Okay, whatever. I'm out. Like, where's this gonna go then? It's just gonna be like arguing over terms for another 2 hours while you rake in super chats. Fuck you. I'm out, and I'm taking your cookies.
I think they both look stupid.
They're in the middle of. Have you ever been to Pool's place?
No.
It's in the middle of fucking nowhere too. It's
Yeah.
like
So we have 60%. Where'd it go? 66%. 2/3 of you said that Tim came out worse. I would love to hear from you guys about that. So we have about a minute left on this. Let's just finish up, see if there's anything here, and then I am very, very, very interested how it is that you think that Kanye looks good by running out of a studio at the most basic challenge of his anti-Semitic positions, or arguably anti-Semitic.
yeah, like you fly a jet out there, you take an Uber to the house, and like halfway there, you're like, where the fuck am I going? Somebody have to like harvest a kidney from me because it's in the middle of nowhere. So they went really far to their way to.
Thank you, Divine Rod. Thank you so much, Divine Rod. I appreciate you as always.
Imagine Kanye West is pranking your little fucking podcast. I really think, like, I can imagine Milo kind of telling him, like, look, we're gonna go in there, you're gonna say Jews, he's not gonna acknowledge it, and then we're just gonna leave because it's hilarious.
Gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic.
I mean, it worked. I mean, everyone's talking about it.
The first thing I thought was exactly like what you said. Like, oh man, I bet Nick Fuentes doesn't know what to do. Like, because he could stay there and like
2 hours with Tim Pool. That's the largest. It's the largest show he's been on, right? With the chance to talk uninterrupted.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. And no offense to Pool, but Fuentes will run circles around that entire table.
Absolutely.
Oof, that's the next poll. That really? Okay. And I kind of feel like I know where some of your biases lie. Who would do better in debate? Him or Nick?
Absolutely, because he's got like the patter down. He's got all his talking points, and he's great at it. So he's got to pick between. Like, I could feel that. As soon as Kanye left, I was like, oh, no, Nick. Oh, my God. Oh, what are you going to do? You can't stay there because you look like you're betraying him. You have to walk away. It was like an Indiana Jones when he's, like, grabbing the Holy Grail. And he's like, Junior, let it go. I was like, oh, Junior, let go. Let go. You have to walk.
Oh,
Dios
no.
mío.
Yeah, he's in the middle. Or Fuentes is in the middle of the fucking plane. Here's a plane. And he's like, can they take off without me? Like, oh,
So that, when I heard that, and it was confirmed that, yes, absolutely, the reason that Nick left is because he had to choose. Is it better for my career to sit here and have the audience of the Timcast IRL audience and get my ideas out uninterrupted with nobody else, not being a lackey of Kanye, but now everybody left, so I'm the only one? Or do I go with Kanye? So I have the other ones. Star, we're gonna come back to this. So Free Ego says, if Nick is banned from everything, he just end up getting Tim in trouble. Should YouTube decide to Should YouTube decide to strike any form of him down? I think Tim Pool has a good enough relationship with YouTube that like when he brought Alex Jones on, he was talking about how he told them, he was like, yo, I'm going to be bringing on Alex Jones. Like, I just want to make sure we're cool. Like, we're not going to talk about, anything. I'm just letting you know this is what's happening. So he said that a number of times. He's also had on a number of canceled people, and it's never been a problem. So I don't think that is too much of an issue. So what did you say earlier? So Frigo said Nick Fuentes, Milo, no way, and Kanye together makes sense, not only for influence, but because of their Christian beliefs, to be honest. Nick Fuentes is a white nationalist. I don't know if you know this, but white nationalists, separate from white supremacists, may not believe that white people are superior, but they do in fact believe that this nation should be of white people. So you're trying to get a black man to be the president. Huh. That makes me think that I don't have a good button on here, but it's just, yes, they have Christian beliefs. But as I talk about endlessly, the term Christian beliefs is such a wide umbrella of beliefs, that it's such a wide umbrella of mentality, that I don't think that Kanye is a strict Catholic in the way that Nick and Milo are. Nick is not not accepting of gay, LGBT, whatever, which Milo is, even though he's, pretending that he's not anymore. Come on! So then Frigo goes on to say, Tim came out so much worse because a fraction of people who listen to his music, Tim's music or Kanye's music? A fraction of people, can you, hey, we got Dr. Evil Genius in the building. What is good? Welcome to the party. What is good, brother? Yeah, I got this out of the garbage. You're never too good for dumpster diving. Thank you. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So his music being Kanye. Okay, so Tim came out so much worse because a fraction of the people who listen to Kanye's music will overlap with Tim's audience. And Tim just lost his biggest guest ever because he couldn't hold back to listen. Did we listen to the same podcast, bro? I specifically pointed out 5 times in a row. 5 times in a row. Where Kanye was talking, and we were trying to get somewhere, and he either changed the discussion. Yes, maybe he didn't want to hold back and listen to random anti-Semitism that is not in context of anything that they're talking about yet. But again, you listen to the episode. You know that they had a conversation. Tim and Kanye had a conversation before the cameras went on that said, we're going to get into this new stuff. We want to talk about the dinner, and then we will get into the anti-Semitism stuff. So I'm sorry, but as somebody who has my own platform, nowhere near Tim, of course, but if I invite you on to talk about XYZ, and you come on whiling about ABC, specifically if ABC can get me canceled, then you better fucking believe and be like, hey, whoa. You're at least going to get pushback. I'm having you on my platform. You have every opportunity to say what it is that you want to say. But the fact is that just because you say something doesn't make it true. That would just be saying things. If you make a claim, then you've got to back it up. And when someone's asking for clarification, not even challenging you, just clarification, you got to get up like Rahman. Then, I mean, what else is, I mean, who else? Who else thinks that Tim was the one who ended up looking bad from bringing on all of these people and them being the ones to cancel themselves off of that show? Byron says, as far as I know, appearing on a live stream is not considered ban evasion. Correct. I mean, they could definitely screw with you if they want to, I'm sure. But that is not part of the rules. So, like I said, guys, this stream has not been about providing answers. This stream is about getting a foot in the door of talking about what is really going on here. The fact that Kanye and Milo and Nick Fuentes are working together, are riding together, or whatever you want to do it. It is It's weird. There's something going on, and more will come out. More will come out. Unfortunately, what would have been amazing if Kanye had the fucking balls to stand behind his own words instead of run around, take his ball, and cry and go home like a little bitch. If he had balls, well, yeah, fuck Twitch. That's why Twitch is gay. But if Kanye had more balls, then we would have gotten an amazing conversation. Because there's no way that people like Luke and Tim are going to sit back and let blatant racism go on if that is what we were going to get. Now, if that's not what we were in store for, if that's not what Kanye stands for, if that's not what Milo and Nick stand for, well, then finally, we would have been able to see what exactly it is they stand for. And if they are exactly who the cancel culture mob presents them to be, then now we know for sure. This is why you platform everyone. Free speech wins when it is free. The marketplace of ideas, just like the marketplace of money, only works when it is truly free. When you can say anything you want, but, it's in this little box, that's not really free speech now, is it? Did anybody die? Did anybody get a cut? Paper cut? Sore throat? Itchy eye? I don't think so. I mean, Kanye sure as shit got his feelings hurt. But other than that, it seems like a group of grown men were able to sit down, talk about some stuff, decide they don't want to continue the conversation, and got up and leave. But there is an entire population of people who will tell you that that is akin to violence. Frankie T in the building. Well, I'm sorry to hear, but unfortunately, I was, talking about the relevance. But see, this is good trolling. Thank you, Frankie. That's a good one. I don't think that this is just a plea against cancel culture, a plea against the woke mob. And I talk all the time about how I'm rather white-pilled on this stuff, how I feel like we're moving in the right direction. The fact that Elon unbanned so many people, I just heard in it was a Dave Smith, Part of the Problem podcast, that he did a poll about, complete amnesty for anybody who didn't break the law on Twitter. And 70% of people, I think it was 72, 70% of people said they want a complete amnesty. Now that is an amnesty I can get behind. Pandemic amnesty, I don't know about that. Eddie Film says, Ye is adrift. He is starting to see the light, but doesn't have the background to discuss his beliefs in depth. 100%. 100%. And this goes right in line with this, the two ideas. One of him being a celebrity and a genius in his own right. And two, the thing he was talking about, being bouncing from handler to handler. So there is a realm in which Kanye is, top tier. I mean, if you want to argue whether he's the best producer, rapper, whatever, that's another conversation for another day. I don't really care. But he is in the top tier. So when you have people like that, then it makes sense that they would assume that, okay, I'm the best rapper alive. I'm the best beats producer alive. I'd be the best politician too. And when you have these handlers, a lot of them are just yes men. So you don't get the opportunity to really have a conversation like what happened last night. Email says, some of his beliefs are so shallow and wrong, they are indefensible. Interesting. Andy, do you want to come up and chat about it a little bit? Because I'm about to head over to Discord, but I would love to get your views on this. So I want to continue following this. We're going to continue following this. I'm going to continue following this. Hopefully, you continue follow me following this. But this is not the end of the story, and it is not just. I don't know what it is yet, but it's more than just like, ooh, crazy celebrity doing some crazy shit. Let's watch. It's more than that. I am telling you, there is something going on. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I know. I don't know, but I know. Hey, we got the Mikey story in the building. Said, I think Ye should stop trying to talk and prove any of his talking points and take about 2 to 3 months off to chill and refresh him. I completely agree with you. You know, earlier I was bringing up the comparison between Kanye and Dave Chappelle. They were talking about, Ye was talking about how his doctors want to drug him and they want to Michael Jackson him and they wanted him to go to all of this. That's essentially the same position that Chappelle was in. And what did he do? Phew, got the fuck out of there. He was like,
catch me outside. How about that?
And he left and came back and he was refreshed. So welcome, Mikey. I definitely agree with that. Vanrod said, to know who rules over you, seek who you cannot critique. Voltaire. Very nice. He says, you ever want to put the current political scene in the U.S. and just look at Rome and remember the Secret Service has not whacked anyone? I'm not really sure what you're talking about with the whacking of anyone. What, you want to come over here? Come. We got a Morty stream. Come on. We got a Morty stream. But yeah, looking at the Roman Empire and Morty, sit. Looking at the Roman Empire, how that all played out, there's a lot of similarities, and that's not a good thing. Mikey said, I think Ye is burnt out and is fighting it. Again, I agree. I think that you know, all the stuff that he talked about with you remember, we already know that he has mental health issues, which is, you know, nothing to be made fun of, but is something to you know, I would kill this motherfucker. We know that that's something he's been dealing with. We saw him have that very public freak out about you know, they want to kill my baby. And that wasn't, I don't think that was nearly as closely tied to mental health as they try to make it seem. I think that is way, way, way closer to his political red pilling than anything else. I mean, does anybody disagree? That only makes sense to me. That is a legitimate and rational thing to get very animated and upset about. If you previously thought about having a procedure on your child that is now a human, that is now a person that you can hold and talk to, and then you get this idea that you almost did this thing to now this person that you can see and you have a relationship with, that makes sense to me. So I think he is in a I think Mikey is on point here. And I think he's in a transition period, which is why I want to pay attention, because he can go the Dave Chappelle route and take a break, or he can go a very different route and you know, go down in flames. And either way, because this is in the this is happening right now in terms of our political history, as well as you know, just the Trump era, I think this is going to be something that it's going to be something we want to pay attention to. It's going to be something that we can learn from. So that's what we're doing. Byron says, a shocking fact about the fall of Rome is in the final years, they started to venerate their chefs. What does venerate mean? Which is so similar to the rise of foodies. Venerate meaning like put them on a pedestal. I don't know. Context clues. I feel like though, foodie stuff has been. You got me thinking. I don't know. I'm not there with you yet, but you got me thinking. Frankie D says, just mean the Praetorian Guards took out the emperors. Senators had no issue with it either. These same power groups also greatly feared the masses, and so there was a limit to it. Well, if only they had guns. If only they had guns. So, what really happened? What really happened, I think, is that for one reason or another, Molly Yiannopoulos went on Timcast and was like, oh, wow, this is a great opportunity for me to... No, you have to stay here. This is a great opportunity for me to say the things that I want to say. Whether or not... Go. Jesus Christ. There you go, Darshan. Clip that out. He wanted to go on and spew what he wanted to spew. But of course, because an exception for Milo had a inaccurate view of what the experience of going on Timcast was like. Or he saw that, hey, I'm Milo. I got away with this. You're yay. You can definitely get away with this. Or option 3 is that he knew that that wasn't going to fly with 2 episodes in a row. With 2 episodes of Milo being on it in a row, it's not going to work with the guests just steamrolling the show. So he set Kanye up to look bad. How many people would be talking about Kanye if they just had a conversation and it was even heated and racist and anti-Semitic? How many people would really be talking about it? As many people that are talking about him walking out? How many people would be talking about Milo and Nick Fuentes if they had just done a regular podcast? Do you think that Milo has thought about this? If you say no, again, go back and look at the, I went through the entire Lauren Southern manifesto, broke everything down. It is on my channel. She's in the thumbnail. Search Lauren Southern IndianJesus, and you'll see that she has a lot of inside information on how Milo operates. And I think he is pulling strings. So Mikey says, unless all of what he's doing is a plot to bring attention to his next album coming out soon, and he will be #1. I mean, he doesn't seem... I'm certainly not a Kanye expert, but of all the publicity type stuff that he would do, this doesn't seem like that. He seems legitimately upset with the powers that be, and then being canceled. That's another good point about cancellation, about why everybody should be platformed. Because like we said earlier, when someone is canceled, it's not like their ideas just disappear. They may disappear from your consciousness, but they don't disappear. They go to another place where everybody else who's been canceled goes, like Parler or Gab or Tiny Chat or Cozy TV or whatever it is. Odyssey, all these places. These people exist. These people are still doing exactly what they're doing, but now they're in an echo chamber. So while you've just been living your life, oh, thank goodness, I don't have to listen to Milo's mean words. Thank goodness, I don't have to listen to Trump's mean words anymore. They've been behind the scenes ramped up. But because before, they were just them. They had whatever motivations they had, but they were them. Now that they've been canceled, vengeance. What did the Parler tweet things say? I lost everything helping out Trump in office. My life and career were completely destroyed. Was it worth it? No, I feel utterly betrayed. I will have vengeance. I am dedicating the rest of my life, says Milo, to the destruction of the Republican Party. Sounds like he's doing a good job. We have stories of Trump going to dinner with white nationalists. We have Trump's biggest supporter going on and teaming up with another person who is associated with Trump but not taken very seriously in Kanye. I think there's fuckery afoot. I think there is fuckery afoot. So last one, Mikey says him being canceled was his damn fault for not using discretion in his thoughts and words and the platforms he chose to do that on. He was better off having a private convo. I don't disagree with you that he wasn't using discretion, but I don't. This is what happens when you cancel people. All that happens is that you make people feel better about it, while the people who are being canceled, which according to the cancel mob are dangerous, now are going to just beef up their toxic and problematic beliefs. Yeah, I stole this for that's a Roganism. I stole that from him. He hasn't used it as much lately. But when I was like before episode 1000, when I was like watching every single one, he would use that. Or what was the other one? He would use skeptical hippo eyes. The rhino sense. So the rhino sense, is Myro referring to that in the rhino sense? We've been on for an hour and a half. What is that? I don't know what that is, but I think that the parlor posts. I think that no, he's just vengeful. I think that he is very self-centered. That he wants to be, he wants politics to be the Milo show, and so he doesn't have principles beyond that. So whatever it takes to make politics the Milo show, he will do it, and I think that's what we're seeing. I don't have any proof. This is all pure speculation and conjecture, but that is what I think happened. That's what I think happened, guys. So I'm going to head over to Discord where the party rages on. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do me a huge favor. Like the video. That is the biggest thing that helps it in the algorithm. And as you can see, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m., but it is not Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and make sure you never, ever, ever miss another Indian Jesus party. And of course, you guys know the channel is not yet monetized. My birthday was yesterday, so if you missed it, then help me out. CashApp, Venmo, you know how to do it. But even if you don't want to do any of that, that is perfectly fine, guys. The time that you spend here with me is so valuable. I appreciate it to no end. So all I ask is that you continue to come back and hang out and have conversations with me. It really does mean so much to me. And I can't thank you guys enough. Real quick, Mikey says, what you're saying is the very point that you were trying to get Henry to admit. Admit he was wrong, and he kept moving the goalpost. It's an epidemic, and I'm not gonna put into this where I think religion makes this worse, but religion makes this worse. And Frankie says, good channel, my guy. Thank you. Want to hear more of your thoughts and opinions, but I gotta change this hookah bulb. Get you some. Love it. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again, brother. I hope to see all of you again. And thank you, Dan. Everybody be safe. Exactly. And if you have not already, again, please hit that like button, subscribe, do all this stuff. And you guys know how bad the notifications on YouTube are. So what I need more than anything is for you to be the notification. Just take the URL of this video and plaster it all over social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, other YouTube pages, on Rumble, on whatever. If you can do that, then we will continue to make this an awesome fucking place to hang out. Until next time, guys, meet me over in Discord right now. I've been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, I am out of here. Peace.